Hello and welcome, everyone. This is this week's weekly performance summary. I'm your host, Jason Allen, as always. Today is for the week ending 8/30/2025. Been a busy week, but really nothing special is really happening yet. I think the markets are all caught basically in a range for this week. I think when we had a little bit of a surprise to the market a little more than a week ago, last Friday, with issues about whether or not we're going to see some change to the Fed policy or not. I think the markets got just a little spooked, and they're not quite sure what to do yet. And so we had a lot of basic range play for the week. And again, I think also our president, who's attempting to remove someone from the board at the Fed, it's something that really hasn't been done before, and I think it's going to create some questions as the legalities. And I think people are taking a wait and see attitude. I don't think they're really ready to do a whole lot more yet with their positioning until they know a little bit more clarity as to how the Fed's going to move forward the next, couple of months or year or so. Um, it's going to be interesting. In any case, let me go ahead and run through the numbers and show you what we're positioned at to take advantage for next week. If we look at the number of closed trades for this week, it's been kind of a average typical week for closed trades with 11 total, 7 long, 4 short, 11 trades getting positioned. Now I'm holding positions. I'll show you those in a minute. These were mostly losing trades. Typically, as I tell you from before, when I get positioned, my intention is to hold that trade for as long as humanly possible. So sometimes during the process of trying to get positioned, we'll have a small loss, we'll be a little early, it'll get stopped out at break even, any kind of things will happen while we're trying to get positioned. And of course, once we're in, we're in. So sometimes it takes 2 or 3 weeks and the market moving a distance to put us in a net profitable position from the standpoint of losses on that account heading into, or that pair heading into gain. So once everything's closed, we're at a nice gain. That's the goal, but that can take time. So the losers are taken off first, and those tend to pile up in the account. So it looks like we're losing money, but in reality, we're not. So I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. So we closed out 301 trades. I'm sorry, 301.7 pips lost. But at the same time, we had 2 brief small wins for 129.3. So we're out about 172.4 pips for the week. Closed trades, open trades, which is what I want to show you right now, we're actually money ahead. So pounds, I'll show you in a minute, got stopped out, never really had a chance to get back in. Euro, we're long from 115.85. Friday's close 116.87, so we're up a little over 100 points there. Yen, we're long at 146.83.7. We're also short at 147.27. And this is a perfect example of how my systemized approach, being price agnostic, might get you positioned better for the big move. So right now, we're in the middle. We're at 147 roughly on Friday's close, and we're short from underneath that price. Or, I'm sorry, short from above that price and long from underneath that price. So I've got a gain of a few points, and I'm just waiting to see what happens. Either we're going to blast off one way or we're going to break lower. CAD, I'm long from 37.33.1, but I'm also short 2 times from above the market. So I'm short 38.95 and change for 100 points open trade there, and then again 38.47 and change for about 17 pips there. So I'm actually got an open trade gain of a little bit more than I lost in closed trades for the week. So my equity is growing. Usually every week it grows something, but these of course are trades that we haven't taken off yet. So what I'm going to show you right now is how I'm positioned, and then what I'm expecting into next week. which what we're basically looking for is the range to break in one direction or the other, and we're basically heavily positioned for the dollar to fall. So if we look at pounds, let me go right ahead and take a look here. So if you see from a long position taken here, that long position was taken out at a loss right here, basically on the lows for the week. This red X was actually a green X, and the system put it on long from here. Then at the close of the day, it switched to a red X, and this happens every now and then. I have to explain it, but it does. Basically, what ends up happening is the algorithm is using the data from the previous bars, and somewhere in here, bars were removed and changed. Somewhere like back in this area here, bars changed, open, high, low, close. The indices or the averages changed for dollar amount. Sometimes that has to do with this kind of thing here, misticks that were left on the board. And when that happens, the algorithm recomputes at the close of the day. So, all right, so it did that, but by then we're already in. So it's just one of those frustrating things about trading in the markets that happen, and it's really rare. I think it's only like the second or third time maybe I've seen it. So I'm not going to let it bother me. You shouldn't either. But in any case, we're long at 35.02 and got taken out. And you can see where we're at. We're right in the middle of what could be considered a range. Here's your top end over here, with 35.80 area. The bottom is slightly below 34.20. It's down here about 36 and change, or 33 and change down, a little below here, below these green dots. But whatever, it is what it is. I'm not positioned at all. Tight range, barely 100 points on the entire week. Kind of hard to trade. So the trend signals you got to let those go. Got to let those ride because it's too tight of a range. You're in the middle of a range. The trend signals are less viable. So net, lost money in pounds. Euro, a little bit different story. I don't know if you can see this green line right here from last week. That position was taken off right here as the market came down from last week. So it was a small gain. Then as the market consolidated, we had buy signals come on, which were trend buys. But at this point, the market was retesting where we were taken out of after holding the lows from last week. It was actually, if you looked at it carefully, at one point it was a trend developing. So that was a point to go long if you were looking at a trend development. Of course, that proved to be inaccurate. Here we are taken out right here for a loss. But then at the very bottom, actually right in the middle of the range for the bottom of the range, hook reversal came on. We took that one, and that's working beautifully. So here's where we're long. This right here is your developing trend, and our stop is out of range along with both the trend area and below the averages. I think right now that the next trend buy signal is going to be an opportunity to add to the position, because I think the market did indeed bottom here, and it's looking to make a move above the 1740 area near term. If that's the case, we're going to see that sometime midweek, I think. If we get it midweek, we're going to look to add on a pullback. So if this market continues to move sideways to higher, pulls back, and we get a buy signal right about in the 1670 area, that I think that would be about where I'd like to see some buy signals come on. Then we're going to look to be adding to our long position there next week. Yen, this is the one I told you about. I got bitch slapped in it 3 times this week. It's frustrating, but that's what happened. Here they are, trying to get positioned on the short side, Here's the X reversal right here. Beautiful trade. Big, long wick. That's typically very indicative of a change in sentiment. And the get short level was right here, 47.42. And that didn't work. Here was a stop, was back at the top of the weekly range. Got positioned again on these trend signals, which, again, looking back to last week, there was a downtrend from last week's highs over here developing in this area. So these downtrend areas were viable at the time as going with the trend. And as you can see, here's where that changed. So really what we developed was basically a range. On the way down, buy signals came on. Those got taken out too. The very last one right here, probably the best possible long you could ask for. But I ended up with a small loss on it. Got long again down here. So now we're holding that one with a short from above as we tried the failed long position here. So you can see we got a little chop, and it just not working in yen. But we got both sides on, and we're looking for this. Either big move this way, take out the lows on Monday or Tuesday, or big move this way to take out the highs from last week and this week. That's what we're looking for early next week, is for yen to break out of this really tight range. Regardless of what it does, we're going to roll with it. And Canada, similar story, but much more likely to be under trend at this point. Trend is developing from last week, as you can see here, down through this area here, downtrend. And we got short from last week, that's this one here. And then added to the short position again here on the trend sell signals as the market was reaching up to tag that moving average that's now rolling over. And we have our stop roughly right here at about lock profit on both positions, but break even on the second one. So I'm short, looking for this market to just make a big move. I'd like to add to it next week if the opportunity presents itself. And as you can see right here, long position taken right here as the market went into the bottom of what could be considered range support, and then failed to take out the bottom. That's what was looking. We wanted to see that happen big time on Friday, but it didn't. You can see my stop right here. Right here is my stop for the long position, and prices came to within half a pip on my execution platform. So we're holding the long, even though, I mean, shot and a save right here. I mean, it didn't take us out. We got within half a pip, 5 little tiny minimum fluctuations, and it didn't hit that stop. So we're holding long. What we're looking for, of course, is for the market to basically do this, crash on Monday or Tuesday. Either way, if it rallies away, the stop will have been moved most likely on Monday morning to a little bit tighter spot. I would say closer to 38.20 is where we're going to have my stop at on Monday. So we'll lock in a little bit more profit here against the potential rally. But we've got 2 shorts on and only 1 long. So if the market rallies from here, great, we'll make something. We'll be taken out with a nice gain on 2 positions short. And net for the week, that should keep us still in the black for the week. Of course, we don't know until we know. All right, so that being said, guys, thank you for listening. I really appreciate you coming and having a look at my performance. I think by now, if you guys have been watching my performance now for the past several weeks, I think you know that there's a real strong probability that I know exactly what I'm doing and that my signals are exactly where you need to be. It's really a question of discipline more than anything else. There's more than enough opportunity, and I know exactly how to find it, and the signals are well developed, as proprietary signals are well developed, and they help a lot with regards to how the market performs. So you put all those 3 things together, you have a strong probability. So if your discipline is there and you want to get better tools, if you're one of those serious traders that are looking for better tools and you want to learn how to use those tools more effectively, I want you to consider me your friend in the business, because if you were to get serious about the Net Winning Trader protocols that I offer at netwinningtrader.com, I think you're going to find that uh, there's a lot of your approach that you don't even realize how easy it would be to fix some of the things that are holding you back, and you don't even realize what those things are yet. So if you're really serious about doing better, I've got a lot of tools to assist you with that. And if you just want to start doing better tomorrow, you could start applying my signals right away, and I can teach you how to use them a little more intelligently. And I think you'll find that you're going to fill in some of those loose areas that you've got and shorten your learning curve. And you'll find that between me and you working together, you're going to do much better. So I want to open the door to that. I want you to consider me your friend in the business if you're interested in coaching or mentoring. But certainly, I'd like you to have a look at the Net Winning Trader protocols. I'm available during the day through my exclusive social community designed for traders, the Market Mastery Meetup, and I'll give you a free year membership to that too if you subscribe to a lifetime membership at Net Winning Trader. So you go to Net Winning Trader, you like it, you spend the dollars that I ask you for there. I'm going to give you a full 1 year membership to the Market Mastery Meetup too. So between the two of us working together full time over a year, it'll be your best year ever. That's what we're looking for. And there's no reason why you can't have that. So all that happy sales related stuff that my sales coach tells me I need to talk about every time we're on together. I don't know if that really helps or not. I'm glad you're listening. So thanks for coming and reviewing our broadcast for this week. Starting next week, it's Labor Day Monday here in the United States. So take some time off to labor. And I will see you Tuesday morning with the Trader's Daily Discipline. And I hope you'll make that a regular stop too. Try to make that the best 5 to 8 minutes of your trading day every morning to get you set up on a positive, emotional, mental setup and give you something to think about to help you improve your edge there too. Guys, have a great weekend, and I will see you Tuesday. Thanks again for coming. Later.